Yeah, now stand and cheer for your Talking Basketball Podcast.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Talking Basketball Podcast. I am Mark.
I am Paul. Hello and
Hello,
welcome to Season 2.
Season 2 indeed. We didn't think we were going to do Season 2 this quickly. We had a few weeks off. We've enjoyed the summer.
They've been great. Doing
Sweet FA.
3 podcasts a week, 2 podcasts a week.
Yeah, it takes
nice.
takes a bit out of you for sure.
Yeah,
But
a lovely holiday.
it's nice to be back and nice to be back with all of you. Hopefully you're all sat at home watching this or on the bus or whatever you do when you're watching it. I don't know. Do people watch on the bus?
They watch everywhere. Oh, we're on video. Yeah, I keep switching off. That was a fake one.
Yeah, we've had this a lot.
That
today.
was a fake one.
A lot of this today,
Right.
unfortunately.
Well, look, we said in the intro before that we started this podcast because you said you want to come and just talk about crap to do with basketball and the entertainment side of things. It's like, yeah, sure. And now, 567,000 listeners later, Season 2.
You got the
on
wrong
video.
number. 576.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, add another 10,000.
Oh, nice. Well, look, there you go. That's not bad for Season 1, though, isn't it?
It's absolutely
I
brilliant.
mean, we were kind of thinking you might get 5.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, there we go. Well,
And that won't be my mum because she's never knowingly listened to the podcast.
Oh,
So
there you
that's
go.
pretty good.
Well, and look, everyone gets to see kind of what we look like.
Yeah,
The studio.
Sorry about that.
People always say
Listen,
to me,
everyone wants this.
no,
That's what they came for. They came for the hat. They came for the jumper.
you need Maverick jeans on. You need like a
Listen,
patch
I don't think
or
they
a
do.
belt buckle.
Do they do them?
Of course they do. It's America. They do everything.
Dallas jeans.
Of course they do.
Well, you're going out there.
Get a patch. Get a patch and just...
You get me some Dallas jeans.
Yeah.
Not,
why not?
hang on. Not
I'll get you a
with
patch. You can sew
I
it
don't
onto the
want a patch on my pocket.
your ass pocket.
Oh, yeah, that's going to raise a few questions. No. I'm talking about a nice Dallas. Yeah, maybe.
Oh, Christ. We're 2 minutes into this bloody
2 minutes in season
podcast
2.
and we're already
Everyone
talking
knows.
about Dallas.
Listen.
Jeez.
Well, look, we can talk about Seattle if you want.
Before we go any
you're rocking
further-
Seattle right there.
Before we go any further, if you want to be part of this show, email the UK Basketball Podcast at gmail.com. Jump on the socials, on Facebook, on Instagram, and yeah, they're the ones that I tend to focus on. So if you message on there, I will definitely see it. I'm loving the art. Obviously, any listeners from last season will know what I'm talking about, but loving some of the art. And yeah, so I would say one of the comments I always get is your face doesn't match your voice.
Really?
Yeah, so when people listen to me talking sometimes, they look at me like, man, where you're on that podcast? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, your face doesn't match your voice. I've had it quite a bit. Well, look, now you see my face does match my voice.
Well, yeah, because maybe they think you're annoying, and then when they see you and like they enjoy listening to you, and then they're like, hang on a minute, I enjoy listening to him, but in real life he's annoying.
Yeah. Or they think he looks like Brad Pitt or something, 6-pack, and then they, hang on, what's going on?
No,
Right.
definitely not. But no, Paul, we've had quite a rocky UK basketball scene, I think it's fair to say.
I think someone pressed the nuclear button on Premier UK basketball.
Yeah.
Pretty much, didn't they?
Yeah, for those of you who haven't tuned in, previously, obviously, it used to be called the BBL, and they were really trying to get away from that. So they, grenading the league seemed like a good idea, and consequently now, it's
Well, look, let's go back because
not called that.
I know we have a lot of listeners around the world. So
Yes.
what happened? What happened in UK Basketball Podcast? The owners were, what, 777? Is that what they were?
Well,
That was the
777 have
holding
no
company.
They have no affiliation with us, no.
No. What?
You said
But the
UK
BBL.
Basketball Podcast.
Oh, sorry. What did I say?
This is the brain fog. This is brain fog coming out to ruin his day.
Hang on. So the 777 were in charge
You're
of the
in
BBL.
a room.
That's what I said.
You're in a safe
Look, there's too much
space.
going on. Right. But everything was cool everything was cool until they went to buy Everton Football Club.
Yep.
And now the Premier League, they don't bugger around with ownership and stuff like that. There's been too many examples. Portsmouth being a great example,
Yes,
going into administration. And, you know, they did their due diligence and were like, hang on, ruffled some feathers.
Yeah, definitely.
And
It's a shame because could the league have carried on? Well, they were having a few issues apparently beforehand, but again, that's all subjective, and I'm sure there were people involved, and it's sad if that's the case. But it's the fans who always lose out because you've got people who were backing teams, getting favourite players. Everyone's bought anyone who likes sports can relate to getting a jersey and then that person getting traded the next year. And you think, damn it, I've just saved up and got this really nice jersey and now that's gone.
yeah.
So there's whole teams that have been shaken up and changed.
Well, I'm just going to share something with you now. Look, I'll share a few things. Look, I talked to a lot of people, and I'm not going to say any names.
Santa,
but like
Father Christmas.
During the season, at one point, people weren't going to get paid. No. And I think it got to a point where it was like 900 grand or something like that, wasn't it? And they were like, are you actually going to pay us? Because the league's going to end if you don't pay us. I'm sure it was 900 grand if what my source told me. And so there were warning signs. I don't know.
Straight off the bat.
Like all this is going on and like, we're going to buy Everton. I don't know what the concept was. Buy Everton, hope they win something and then sell it and that will solve all our problems. I don't know.
I think, and forgiven for using it in error, but if everyone remembers the Man United, was it the Glaziers who bought Man United? Is that right?
Yeah.
One of
a
the
long
things
time ago, 10 years ago, 15 maybe, I don't know.
But the way in which they did that is that they took out a massive loan, then bought Man United with the money from the loan, and then attached the loan back onto the team. So then they walked free of owing the money. And then the club suddenly became massively indebted by $1 billion or whatever it was, and that was the whole idea. It seems that's how it's, and they're not alone doing it, and it's not illegal to do it, and that's the thing that surely it should be, but it's not, because all you're doing is loading a company full of debt and then just letting the company go.
Well, where this all kicked off
the same things happen.
Was that license. That's where this all kicked off.
So that kicked it off, and there was things going on.
Was that FIBA? Or was it FIBA?
No. The license, it was what kicked it off there. It was FIFA, because FIFA had said yes, and then
FIFA?
Yeah, for that they could buy the club, but then the Premiership said no, they can't buy the club.
Oh, sorry, you're talking about the football still. Sorry, I'm talking about, was it FIBA?
Yeah, that's
who
what I'm
said,
saying.
You can't.
So then when it came back, it was then, hang on a minute, what's going on? And then it all just went wrong. So it actually came down to UK law. That's the reality. And
well, they just didn't get a license to be the Premier League in the UK, were they?
No. So the license got pulled, and that's by the GBF, which is the BBF, I think they call it, which is the British Basketball Federation. And it's made up of all like UK, Wales basketball, Scottish basketball, British basketball, and they all come together, and they've all said, this is,
But that was the key for all of this.
Well,
if you look at, that's when everything kicked off.
So that's when everything kicked off, and what happened was that license was given to a company, and that was a UK company held by UK laws. So they cut they cut the head of the snake, so to speak, and then that company could basically not operate basketball in the UK with those leagues.
Well, they could. It just wouldn't be recognised by
exactly. So
leagues.
then you go, well, what are you going to do?
Can I just quote Newcastle Eagle owner?
Yep.
Paul Blake. We've had him on the show. Get in season 1. Go back and listen to that.
Yes, sir.
That was really good episode. But when we spoke to him, one of the key things he always said, the key word, and I've said this so many times, sustainability, wasn't it?
Oh, 100%.
And I got a quote from him
Yeah,
here,
he's all on
which
that.
says, where is it? I'd always want to see the league operating in the same way that I operate my club. We have to be sustainable. There's no question that investment can move things forward and more quickly open up other opportunities. But ultimately, there's responsibility that we have to the basketball community and supporters and fans to make sure that it will be around.
Yeah,
and one part of that, in my view, making sure that we're making sensible decisions and working on a sustainable basis as we possibly can. Again, so look, I mean, his head is switched on.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like when you look at, and if the owners are all like our experience with Paul Blake, moving away and creating this own league was the right decision.
It was. And look, they had like 10-week period, 9-week period that they had to turn this all around, because you think when it wrapped up sort of April, May, June time, by the time all of those things were coming out, we know we've gone through the timings. We're not going to sort of beat that sort of to death. But the reality is they had to come up with a league name, come up with a logo, come up with all brand new media, brand new things. What's the format of the league?
10 weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just under 10 weeks. And then let's just go back even further.
And the fans going, am I buying a season ticket?
What
It's
teams?
like, oh, wow, okay.
So, yeah, that bit was a bit shoddy. And look, if we're going to we can't say there's positives without negatives. The communication was shocking. It just was.
Well, I would say the communication has continued the way it has always been. So when there's an incident or something like that, you have this generic response, and all the clubs put the same response out, and it's almost like this wall goes up, and they're like, we're not speaking. Yep. That's our view. Bam. And then it all goes away, and it's like, okay, cool, right, let's carry on. And it's the same. Like They
did it in the NBA. They do it with all things. If something horrific comes up, they just go.
But with UK basketball in particular, it's almost like, I think you said to me once off air about people put a stake and go, that's my ground, and they hold on to it and protect it like, this is my little bit of security. And it's like,
everyone is
if you let go and let, for example, us get involved. It's not like we've got a small audience now. I'm not being big-headed, but it's not like we've got we've got a pretty big audience, especially for UK basketball. It's like, use that.
Yeah.
Like, again, I've said this a million times. Elton John, I'm sure it was him. He said, any whatever they put in the paper, as long as they spell my name right.
I mean, no one would put a segue from basketball in the UK to Elton John. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, you're welcome. But look, the point is, it doesn't matter. As long as they spell your name right, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's a learning curve. I think the big problem was when 777 came in, it was money's coming in, everything's going to change, everyone's going to do really good things, they're going to be... And the way that they did the media, the way things looked, you thought, all right, okay, polished. It did look polished. The way they were doing online, the way they were doing some of the, I want to say showcases perhaps, it was looking polished. It was looking like you've thought this out, you're really going for it. The problem was it was on a house of cards and there was no money propping it up. But if the money was there and that was a case, people maybe would have been thinking, hang on, we've got a really good product here. And I think what the league owners and everyone who's now come together and trying to do it, what some of them like Paul recognise is that there's a lot of fans here who are behind all of these clubs in these certain cities, and it's 4 main cities in particular that have these really big followings, and a lot of the league is sort of really bolstered around those 4 or 5 clubs, to be fair. And what is it have those clubs have in common? All of those clubs have their own venue.
Yeah.
And it's that sustainable, it's that one thing, just what you read out there. So going forward, it's how do we keep basketball going in the top flight in the UK and make it a sustainable product?
Yeah. Like
it has to be.
I've said this before as well, is I think definitely in the UK, everyone's quite territorial.
Oh, yeah.
So like, you, wherever you are, it's like, no, Portsmouth Force, they're my team. I don't support BBL. And they're quite territorial like that. But it's like, you know what? Why not?
No, exactly.
You support Portsmouth Force, the National League Div 3. Okay, you can also support another team.
Yeah.
We should have a segment where people say, tell us who to support, and we'll take their name out of a hat with with the team. That's a good idea.
Yeah, we'll do it.
So look, the league gets formed.
Yes.
The league gets formed.
With 9 teams.
You know what? It just popped in my head, and this makes sense now. They were running out of money, and I said to you towards the end, definitely towards like the last 5, 6, maybe 10 weeks.
Yeah.
The media side of things went completely dead.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Like if you go on, let's say Facebook or something like that, and go on the Super League basketball sport page or web page, whatever it is, you got some good content on there. And that's what it was like last year until like the last 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks.
And then it just disappeared.
And it just went back. And I remember saying live on there, I don't know why that I didn't put 2 and 2 together. They ran out of money and whoever they were paying just went, nah, done.
No.
But that's back.
Trading
I like that.
Trading on goodwill. Yeah.
I like that. So
moving
league
forward,
gets formed.
they form it. They call it a new name.
Super League basketball.
I mean,
You're not a fan. I don't mind it. Like it's a bit like, look, it's a bit like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Okay, if I came to you and that band name didn't exist and went, we're going to start a band and call ourselves the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yep.
You're going to go, what? But the band have made that name amazing.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's
Super League basketball. The league can make that name. Super League basketball. Yeah. Super League b-ball. Yeah, brilliant.
I think the problem is there's a few leagues that already are Super League.
But the same thing, National Basketball League.
No, I get that.
I do. The only one that I do think is funny.
If you say NBL, if you say National Basketball League, to be fair, nowadays you think of Australia. They've really owned that.
Well, there's a few.
You really
Australia, Germany.
Yeah. Australia trumps Germany now, like because it's basketball.
Wow.
Well,
world champions.
Yeah, but
just this world
basketball
champions.
Bundesliga is Germany. Whereas now you look at those. Yeah, I don't know. Going forward, you think NBL because of Australia, because of just what they've done with the links with the NBA. A lot of it always ties back to that sort of thing, doesn't it? But I just can't help thinking there are Super League basketball actual leagues around. One's in Canada, I think. One's.
Ireland, is it?
Yes.
That's one.
The National League in Ireland is called Super League Basketball.
Well, we're going to take over.
So, I just think it's. I heard someone mentioning about it being it lends itself nicely to sponsorship. So like they used to have the nationwide Super League basketball and the Carling Cup and all those sort of things.
The rugby, Super League rugby.
You have all of that. It lends itself so nicely to sponsorship, doesn't it? So,
the one thing I will comment.
They had to choose
the domain makes me laugh a little bit. It's all right. Look, history will make it good. That's what I'll say. I do believe, a bit like the Chili Pepper name, history makes it good.
It's just sad.
Super League Basketball M for men's league, Super League Basketball F for the female league.
They had to get it, didn't they? They had to do something.
It makes you love it. But yeah, it is
one of those. Does anyone care about domains anymore? But
a nice domain sometimes.
But it's such a long domain anyway. It's like,
but it is what it is, and whoever's done the website for the BBL has clearly come on board and done the website for the Super League basketball. So, like, how many teams committed straight away? I think it was 7 or something like that.
It was 6, and then you had other teams that they had to find out what they were going to. It was 6, and then really quickly, you then had to basically 9 in total now.
Well, let's talk about that because they thought some were going. So, like, for example, Surrey 89ers. Sorry, Surrey Scorchers.
Yeah.
That was the team in the BBL.
Yep.
And I think with challenges with the university that folded and gave birth, I actually prefer the name. To the Surrey 89ers.
Really?
Yeah, I really like it. They like Niners. We've seen that in the kit. We've seen that in the merchandise and stuff like that. We talking to Andrew Lawrence last week. He had his Niners jumper on. Very nice guy.
Yeah, he said it as well, didn't he? I said, what do you prefer, 89ers or 9ers? He's like, oh, no, I like Niners.
Yeah, I like
that's it. That's the Philly thing, isn't it? Like the Philly. Do people say 76ers? Most people say the Sixers, don't they? If you think like Allen Iverson, it will say Sixers on there. It's Philadelphia 76ers.
As long as there's a reason. That's what I'd say.
That's why it's Niners.
But what is it? That was because of the London... breaking out of London.
It broke out of London in 1889.
The greater part of London.
Yeah, so because of that, that's when Surrey and where it is formed. So, yeah, I like that. I thought it was cool.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Adelaide 36 is the same thing. Sixers. So they hung around, but they've been bought. Who've they been bought by? Was that Dan Clark?
Yes.
That was Dan Clark.
Yep.
So the legend Dan Clark
Dan and
comes
Jody,
in
they
and
came
saves
in.
the club.
Yep. Dan and Jody came in. They sorted that out. And
We need to get him on this show, Mark.
yeah, oh, definitely. We're trying to get Andrew, and then we'll get Dan and Jody as well. We've already had Lloyd on the show, Lloyd Gardner, head coach.
Hey, watch out for him
And,
this season.
You know, look, it's a nice segue because obviously before him being at Surrey, he was at Manchester, wasn't he? And Manchester were one of the other teams that were locked up, associated with
The
the
777.
BBL. Yep.
So Manchester Giants are now dead.
Yeah. So they were owned.
I did like the Giants name.
Yeah, and I think it's a real. It was
I'm
sad.
holding my bottle when I drink it. I don't know if I'm allowed to have the brand on here.
Well, I don't think Coke's going to be paying us
Look,
anything.
you know what? That's what irritates me. You go,
What? Oh, the new lids.
yeah, look, I'm saving the planet because my lid's now attached to the bottle. Come on.
No, for real. It's a whole thing. Like, because of the amount of they
I
worked
will
out.
throw this bottle at your face,
Oh,
and
God.
people can see it.
Yeah, they can see the abuse you give me now. But honestly, Manchester, the Giants, it's a shame because Giants as a legacy, that name, it's been synonymous with the UK basketball for decades and decades. You know, some of the players that we interviewed back in the day, like Steve Nelson, came from Manchester and came from up those sort of areas. Like it's just always been a formidable team. And
Colin Irish.
Colin
He was
Irish
at
as well.
Manchester.
But it's the home of the National Basketball Centre. So it's kind of ironic that their team was so locked up with the league that they're actually going to go out. And so now they've been just called Manchester Basketball. There's no...
The logo isn't great, is what I'd say. I'm not a huge fan of the logo.
They had a very short period of time.
Yeah, I mean, you can
And
see it.
They opened up paint shop, I guess.
Someone went,
Someone went on paint.
B, Dan, let's go.
'Cause you-
Put a circle
See,
around
I
it.
thought you'd be quite upset because last year you loved that MV logo because it looked like a shield, didn't it? The Manchester
Yeah.
Giants one. You really liked that
But you're right. That is
sort of thing.
someone's
Someone's just
got
not thought
Mark, quick.
of- Yeah.
We got 5 minutes.
Whereas
No worries, mate.
Whereas if
Here
we
we
look
go.
at the same time with Surrey, if you look at the same thing with Surrey, they've made a completely different logo. Do we like their logo? It's okay. Is it the strongest? No. But they made a big change with the colour, didn't they? And they've gone green. And that is a really strong, when you look at it, you think, oh, it reminds you of a Boston or a Celtic-y kind of logo.
I'm trying
There's
to pull it
something
up as
about
quickly as possible so I can see it more.
You've seen that logo.
Is it the one that looks?
It's
There's
like-
one that looks. I know it was it
Like the
the
round wheel.
London one. Is the London one gone green?
No, they're sorry's. But the thing about London's one is at the moment, the ones I've seen have all been the same logo on the socials and everything. But yeah, so we're talking about Manchester, but they managed to stay in at last minute because that was very, very last minute that they were really, are they going to be in or not? At the same time, the same conversation was happening with London about London Lions because they were owned by 777. And people didn't know what was going to happen.
89ers. Yeah.
And they didn't know what was going to happen with the Lions. They didn't know if they're going to stay in or they're going to go. Is London going to have another team? Look, London's had loads of teams historically. We know that. We've seen four or five.
They still have.
You've had the
maybe not in
towers.
top
You've had
five.
people go in and out. You've had teams sprout up and disappear. So is that going to be a shock? Not really. But it would have been a shame because the Lions, you know, it's a good name to it and they done well with the marketing. So someone came in and bought them and all the details are out there. We won't
But it's
go
a
into all that sort of stuff.
Lithuanian deal, wasn't it?
Yes.
So
that,
you know what the Surrey 89ers did with their logo is kind of what I was expecting with the London Lions because like Lithuania has
it looks like a
very
seal.
green. If you look at any club
Yeah.
in your local area,
Yep.
if there's a Lithuanian team, almost certainly they're wearing green.
Yep.
That's kind of what I was expecting. And I like that idea.
Yep.
So I'm just looking at the Manchester logo now. It's not that bad.
No.
It's not that bad. I don't know if this will pick it up. That's not that bad.
Yeah, they can see it. Yeah, I mean, it's all right. It's from a
The
distance.
Surrey one.
Yeah, the Surrey one. Do you know what the Surrey one looks like, though? From a real distance, it looks like the Starbucks, because it's...
No.
Yeah, it does.
No.
I didn't
You know
like
what?
it at
They're not
first.
the worst ones in the league.
They're not the worst.
I actually think the London one's the worst one.
Yeah, just LDN, isn't it? It's just nothing,
That's the actual logo. Oh, you can't see.
Yeah.
You said I could put my phone up to this camera, Mark.
You can, but you just have to behave yourself a little bit.
That's the London one.
Either which way, the whole point is
London are in.
they're in. So we've had those things happening. Everyone has been enjoying the drama. I think it's fair to say. So let's move on from that.
Hang on, well, we got to talk about Plymouth.
Yeah. So
That's
I was going to say
the sad news.
the only drama is really that we lost a team,
Well,
and now we're down to 9.
But
so.
we were talking about this, and in last season, I said, I wonder where they're going to go.
Yep.
They lost their arena that they've been in for however many years.
Yep.
They lost that deal. Well, I think they were putting the price up. That's my understanding. The arena were like, yeah. Bam, the price is going up. And Plymouth Patriots were like, hang on, are you kidding me? Like, hang on. So again, going back to your venue thing. And then I don't know if it's just that, but yeah, I don't know what the legality was around it as well. But
yeah, I mean, it's a shame not having a southern team, because it's a very Midland to North heavy league.
Yeah.
So that is a real shame.
But I think and I hope, I've got a couple of contacts in Plymouth, so I'm going to ask the question I haven't done yet. Is this just a postponement? Are they going to enter back into the league next season?
I think every single owner of the teams, and look, it's no secret, Newcastle Eagles, Caledonia Gladiators, Leicester Riders and Sheffield Sharks, they are the 4 main pivotal teams in the league. Will be Bristol as well at some stage once they've got their arena built, but I think they've had quite a lot of issues trying to get that built. But those are at the moment are the 4 pivotal teams in the whole league, and the reason for that is because they all own their main big arenas, and the team is all centered around. Yeah. They've got a whole community around it, and everything around such as that. So
So the league started. You know what I thought the biggest shock for me before the league even started?
Yep.
Aaron Rye.
Yeah.
Leaving Cheshire and going to London. It was like, what? You know what? I heard someone say, I think it was in a movie. It was in a film with Dan Aykroyd.
Yep.
He's a Boston Celtics fan, and he's with one of the robbers in Home Alone. It might be called, I don't know, Boston Pride. It's something like that. And they basically kidnap the Boston Celtics are against Phoenix Suns, I think, or Utah. No, it's Utah Jazz, and they're in the finals. And they kidnap the star player, who's a famous comedian. I can't remember his name. I completely forgot where I was going.
Yeah.
Oh no, this is where I was going. In that film, one of the guys turns around and says, "It's funny how a different jersey makes you look at a guy a little bit different." And that is such the truest word you ever see. I really liked Aaron Rye wearing that Cheshire Phoenix top.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at him in the London jerseys going,
nope.
It just doesn't look right. Maybe I need time. But just something doesn't, I'm just like, I'm not sure those colours suit you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he needs that Phoenix on his jersey. I was shocked by that.
Yeah, I mean, I was. Yeah, I don't.
Great signing for London.
Yeah, I mean, good signing for London. Do you know what I'm going to say? Actually, good signing for the league, because it's nice seeing the talents.
Well, I mean,
it's nice seeing the talent stay in, because when the league folded, and when all of the changes happened, just like all the people, a lot of the players didn't know what was going on, so they went. Well,
it was dynamite. Just got chucked in that Lions change room.
But not just
States,
the Lions,
Europe.
Yeah, everyone just, and it was because across the league. Because you got to think, with the best will in the world, there are some people who've stayed, and that's amazing that they've stayed. And a lot of them have stayed because they have a home or a family or something attributed. But a lot of the youngsters, they're like, I'm out.
Do I need to look at the camera? Because you're looking at the camera a lot.
No.
Do I need to look?
The reason I'm looking at the cameras, I'm just watching to make sure everything is going okay. Yeah. So, really, I mean,
I've been told I've got a resting bitch face,
nice.
and everyone's going to find that out.
Wow.
I guess, or maybe I haven't. I don't
guess
know.
So. Yeah.
There's going to be a comment under the thing around this time. Yes, you have a resting bitch face.
Or just that you look like a bitch. Yes. So, moving forward, they've set up the league, and it now has the championship, the trophy, the cup.
It's exploded.
And the playoffs. So,
break it down, Mark.
We'll break it down real quick.
Break that down.
Championship doesn't start till the beginning of November, and that's going to go all the way through, obviously, till the end of the season. Whoever wins the end of the championship, that's it. No games between November and 1 week and in February, because they've got the GB FIBA stuff as well. So they've actually put that in as a accommodation, which is nice. That's nice to see. Trophy. Now that has started. So we've just had the trophy that just kicked off.
Yeah.
And there's two groups.
Great moments.
North and the South. 4 in one, 5 in the other, obviously for the odd things. The teams are going to play their own group, home and away. The top 2 teams in each group advance to a 2-legged semi-finals. Group A winner plays Group B runner-up, vice versa. And then the trophy final is going to take place January the 26th. And that's going to be in Birmingham. Yeah? So that's the trophy. Now the cup. Now, we had the cup last season. The cup's going to take place in March. And that's just going to be a knockout tournament. And because of the odd number of teams, 7 are randomly drawn in the quarterfinals, with the remaining 2 competing for a single-leg qualifier.
That's the cup. Okay.
And that's a cup. Yeah.
So it's not expanding outside of that.
And the quarterfinals are going to be a single-leg games, and that's going to be in March.
I think they've missed a trick there.
So now they've got
they
also
should have opened it up to NBL.
Playoffs is the final. Wow.
NBL Div 1. They should maybe not the whole, but top 4.
Now there is a rumor that has been floated around.
Nice.
Whether that's going to happen or not, no one knows. But
the football equivalent, the FA Cup, is historic, and it's genius because you can have a pub football team and you can get to the FA Cup final.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it will never happen because you're going up against professional football players.
Yeah.
But you do get these teams that go quite far. We talked about it before. The Apsley House. We got to before round 1, there were 9 preliminary rounds. We got to round 7.
Yeah.
I scored in the one of the preliminary rounds of the FA Cup.
Yeah, someone
just
had
to
to.
let you know. But so did our goalkeeper. So I don't know if that takes any of the weight of that achievement away.
Takes a little shine off.
Anyway, but that's what's genius about the tournament. That's what makes it romantic, is probably the good word. So imagine someone like Derby or the Rebels, someone like that taking on
That would be good.
one of the big boys.
Yeah.
I do wonder, and I might sound harsh when I say this, I wonder if they're doing it because if one of those boys win, well, that's embarrassing to the league. Is that a detriment to your brand?
I mean, literally.
You have to say that.
You do. But if you go on, you can go on there now, have a little look-see. Everyone can see that. The nice thing is that the fixtures are all up there. They've done the same thing. It's a little confusing and a bit annoying because they've made a north and a south, and you don't get to see all the fixtures as they've been played out, particularly for the trophy, but still.
But I like the fact north, east, south. I like that.
So Leicester beat Bristol 91-69, and Surrey beat the Lions 87-85. And there's quite a few memes going around saying, oh, there goes London sort of thing. So that was in the South group.
Great move there by Josh Steele. Josh Steele getting the steal and give it to Andrew Lawrence, who he did that layup with two guys chasing him down.
He did all right in the game. Was it 18 points?
15 points, 18 points, something like that.
Crazy, yeah. So good job, Andrew. But literally, the 4 games in the North group, Caledonia beat Manchester, Newcastle beat Sheffield, and then Sheffield played Phoenix and lost. So Sheffield got a double hammering over the weekend. And Manchester then played the Eagles and they got hammered as well. So Manchester and the Sharks actually got pounded twice over the weekend, which is quite unfortunate for them. But it's been good seeing some of those big teams going out playing and seeing a lot of the fans there. I don't want to dwell on it.
Mark, we got to talk about this though. this is up there for the season already.
What's that?
You got to talk about Ethan Wright and his rejection. Look at this.
Oh, the big swat.
No, look, he just basically check this out.
Yeah. That's the big swat. Yeah.
Can we get that so people can see it? Let me see if I can help.
Yeah, they can see that there.
Bam!
Yeah.
It's like it went a bit blurry at the end. We're gonna have to work on that, but
we'll put it up there when I can get this all sorted out. We'll have a screen and then we'll share it all up. But yeah.
But that I like the fact that he just grabbed it. It reminded me of that. Who was the guy who did it? And Kobe did that. That one? It reminded me of that. But what a great move. Got to talk about that.
Absolute hammer that was. Look, was there teething problems? The one I liked was someone made a comment saying I was watching the game and I really enjoyed seeing basketball and it got to the end of the quarter and I thought this is great, but on the screen it didn't show what the score was all the time. So he's like, I'm enjoying this, but I've no idea who's winning. And I thought that was hilarious because if you were watching some of the games, I think it was a Sheffield game in particular, they didn't have the scores showing up on the bottom of the screens or anything. So, you've got to laugh at that a little bit. You go, I'm enjoying the game, but I've no idea who's winning or anything. It's sort of like...
Again, I think it's all teething problems.
Totally.
It's a bit like the kits.
Everyone's been used to the kits look like...
Well, some of them are all right. Why don't you just play in last season's kit? Go on, tell everyone what's happened with the kits. It's a very British thing to happen.
They said basically the kits aren't ready. So
for all the teams.
For all the teams. Some of the teams have got them, but not all the teams have got them, so they weren't ready. And then there were jokes going around of saying, oh, everyone's going to be wearing their PE kit or the spare kit or something like
pants. That. Everyone were tuning for that. This shirts and skins.
Well, that's what I said. Is it going to be shirts or the bibs? Someone's going to have like the coloured bibs.
That's what happened when we were back in the day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Shirts and skins. Let's go.
You might get a few more viewers on that for sure, but it's just, you couldn't make that up really. And a lot of people said, "Oh, it's because of the short turnaround." You could have done that. You really could have done it. Like one kit, just get one kit ready. That's all you got to do. So I mean,
no, but it's again. This is what I think is.
It doesn't help their message when they're like, "We're having trouble with the telly," and you go, "Well, why are you having trouble with the telly?" Because Dazen, who's doing the broadcasting, that they got that deal for, which is incredible that they got them. They do a lot of football highlights and other stuff as well. Absolutely exemplary there. There's no problems with any of that.
It's probably
it's probably the people and the environment and who they're working. You go, come on, there's some basic stuff here that we've got. Like, you should have.
That's just teething problems, I think.
You can't have a professional game of sport and not have the score up. And I'm not talking like football, which is boring and has like, you could go 90 minutes and no one's done anything. This is like end-to-end game.
No, I know what you're saying.
But however, also the lighting in some of the bits were a bit funny. You could pick away, but the reality is basketball is back.
But what I'm saying is they should talk about that.
Yeah,
and that is what, again, like I said, one of the biggest things that they are opportunities they're missing out.
Yeah,
is when they go, we got no kits. Highlight it, talk about it, but you get that statement. We do not have enough kits for the teams at the moment. Bam. Yep. And that's it. Wall goes up. We're not talking about it. Like, just talk about it and just be like, look, these guys might be going out in there. People will look at it and laugh. Again, good news, bad news. As long as they say Super League basketball, 100%. Who cares?
100%. So we'll be bringing up, like, doing a weekly show, and we'll be talking about it. But we're not going to do, like, a whole super internet fan analysis. We're just going to talk about the games, and the actual bits that we've enjoyed, like you're talking about with the dunks and the kits and just the general.
Ethan Wright, that was sick.
Yeah, that
was sick, Mark.
This is going to be. Don't do that. Even your kids are embarrassed for that.
Did I spit over the table then?
That's filth, absolute filth. But
Super
League's back, and let's see what happens from
Let us know what you want to talk about. UK Basketball Podcast at gmail.com.
That's absolutely right. So without further ado, I guess.
Oh, how am I ending this?
How are you ending it?
With the same intro music.
We can do, or we can just leave it out with a big boom.
No, I'll do.
What do you want to do? You tell me. You guide me.
Yeah, I think we'll do your thing again. But please go on the socials.
Go
Instagram,
on the socials. Talk to
add us.
This will be on YouTube, and obviously you can stream it on there.
Is this number one or number two? Because we did an intro thing.
Yeah, we've done an intro thing, but this will be on there. So yeah, we'll see.
Nice.
But go and check it out and talk to us. We want to hear from you, especially you, if you're listening and you're still watching. Awesome.
That was a fake one.
That was terrible. Anyway, go back and check it out. If you haven't listened to anything in season 1, we've got loads of bangers in there. We're going to have loads more people coming out, so go and check them out. Thank you so much for listening. I have been Mark.
I have been Paul.
Good night!